Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Momin at Momin's Art, and let's start the class. Today's class is basically I'm gonna put the reference photo in 1 minute. I want to talk about a few things before we start the class. So let's go and make sure everything is fine, working good. So don't hear the audio. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So today I want to talk about a little bit before I go and put a reference photo on the screen. Always, I in watercolor or you do acrylic or oil. Try see if you can get a small thumbnail like that. This is I did it for my class last. It was in the summer. So I did small thumbnails with uh, different composition, different view, different light, and you can do the same thing. You can just go and put some small thumbnails and see which one do you like, which one is more appealing for you to go on a bigger scale. These are very small thumbnails. I don't have the measuring tape, otherwise I will measure for you, which is not very important, but it seems like 3 inch by 5 inch, 2.5 inch by, I would say not even that, it's 4 inch, 2.5 by 4 inch. So try to do something like this before you go on a bigger scale. See what's happening, like how you render, how you use these. See that I use some uh, scraping here on this thumbnail. What I did, I put some paint and I scraped it. I defined the branches and the tree logs and just scraping it. And now you don't need to do very fine work or detailed work. Some of the stuff you can get away with the quickly, and it works really good. It looks so natural, and yeah. So these are the techniques. Try on a smaller scale. Build the skies on the background. I put some purple here. I put some orange here. That type of stuff. Try experiment, like what it looks good in your painting. Not just start with the a bigger scale painting and you get disappointed, right? Like if you don't get the results what you are expecting. So anyway, let's start with the. Let me put the painting on the screen, which I'm going to render today. It's in Toronto. It's a Riverdale Park, and I paint this several times here. So these are basically, I'm going to draw this, the one with the picture, and just to show you, beside it, I did the demo, I think like a few months ago in an art group in Toronto. So this is basically the painting version, and then you can see the picture. I don't include everything what is in the reference photo. So what I did, I just take out some of the stuff, the pole in the middle, some stuff which I don't need it, right? Like, so I just took it out. But I keep all the important stuff that which it looks good in my painting. Okay, so let's get started, and let me put this reference photo on the. I have the paper again. Is a Fabriano 120-pound cold press. Little bit texture on a paper. That's what I'm using today, and I cut the 22 by 30 sheet. If you I didn't take the sheet from the block. I pasted with the masking tape. I guess it's so white that you don't see the masking tape, but I pasted the sheet with the masking tape. Okay, and so that is the paper I mostly use, and sometimes I use other paper also, which I discussed earlier in the classes. I use sometimes I use the Arches paper, and I use some Academy watercolor paper, which is a smaller scale. I don't use, but the Fabriano, the 120-pound sheet or 200-pound sheet, if you're working on the bigger scale, this is the paper I use cold press, and it's fine grain cold press, 100% cotton. So make sure whatever you use for your painting has to be 100% cotton. If you're using a synthetic paper, you will be challenged. When you don't get the results, then you get disappointed. So just pay more a little bit for the little expensive paper and get the results from watercolor. You will see the difference between the synthetic paper and the 100% cotton paper. So let's get started. Let me grab my pencil. I'm going to start drawing this. Let me put the picture on this on my on the screen, and I'm going to take it out. I don't want to create the obstruction here. Let's put the picture. Okay. Sometimes things doesn't work as you want it. So okay, I think I'm okay now. So here, let me put this with the reference right there. So I am going to draw, and with the pencil, just very vaguely. You don't need to draw this. The drawing in this painting is very simple. You don't need to do so much. And I will put a CN tower here. I can draw. I can go with the brush also. I don't need to draw with the pencil, but just to show you what can be done with the pencil also. I hope you guys can see what I am painting here. I mean, the draft. I don't want to keep it too dark because I try not to keep the drop in the painting, so you might not gonna see as clear. And there's some trees here, some bushes here. Let's make it a tree. So when you're working on your painting, you don't need to keep everything. So you can see there's a pole there in the middle of the painting. I don't need that pole. It's such an obstruction. So it's I took it out, right? And there's some so see that baseball marble is right here where these two people are sitting. There's some more people are sitting from the sideways, not towards there. So they're having a good time at the Riverdale Park. Few people sitting here. Okay, they're reading or something. I'm not sure. So here I put the figures, and the cage here, a little bit perspective on the cage. Put a ring here. There's a track here. I'll put a track. I'm gonna leave the track with the white of the paper. So just to give you a heads up, here the track, and there's some structure, or I think the change rooms or buildings are here. Small cubicles, I think. I'm not sure exactly what they look like, but and then I will put a small lamppost. That's how you explain your painting, like what is going on. Like if I put a very big see that CN tower, I by mistake I put too big, right? So I'm going to make it smaller because it's a little bit out of proportion and it looks really big. I will take it out. And so you have to compare like what is farther, how big it is as compared with the other stuff. So if you making a CN tower too big, so I cut it down a little bit and I made it smaller. You can tell there, there you go. And some buildings here, some are facing this way, some are facing the other way, so has a little perspective. Here I will put some building here also. Some cranes, the work is the building under construction, some antennas on the building. So I'm gonna very quickly, I'm not gonna take so much of time because you should practice the sketching part also. I stress all the time. I said you have to draw, 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 and when you drawing and sketching are very strong, then most of your problem will be solved when the washes and all the other stuff will come second. But the drawing and sketching skills would be the most important. Okay, so here I'm pretty much done. Just a few more buildings. I don't want to go. I'm not gonna go very realistic type of work. Just quickly render these small, big, small building. That's how the Toronto look like from this place. And I will create some hill here on the foreground a little bit, and I'm assuming the light is coming from here, so the light is coming from here, so I will create some shadows of these figures here, some shadow here, and these buildings will be dark on the one side. It will, let's say this building casting shadow, I will put a little bit shadow here, and that's it. That's all I need. And this and a little bit fence for the track. Let's bring some more. The lamppost is here by the track. I'll put these lampposts here. Not too many. I will take it out few because I don't need that too many here, right? Just few. And some figures are walking on the track. A little bit here, there. Another one. Probably somebody's walking with this dog. So the reason is to putting these figures in the painting because you want to create a perspective of a little bit, to show how far the things are. If I put a big figure here in the middle, then it will show right away that there's something wrong with the, but see, these figures are not that big, but as compared to this, if I put a big figure here, then it will be look a little bit uh, unnatural or abnormal type of drawing, right? Okay, so here, done with most of the stuff. Let's get some shadows here. Okay, I'm done. Now I'm gonna grab my a brush, a mob brush. Always I explain, you know what, let me use my squirrel brushes. I promised you guys last week that I'm going to use these brushes. They're made by Rosemary and Co. Again, very nice brushes. This is number 16 and this is number 10. And I believe I have some smaller numbers also. I don't see them. Anyway, so let's use this, the bigger number 16. Get some, put some water in a palette, clean it up. Previous mix there was some warm colors, I think some cadmium orange, yellow ochre, and it was last week I was using, I think it was some burnt sienna, burnt sepia also. So here I got this, so I would put this color just to tone it down my paper. So I don't I didn't put any water on the paper, so I'm gonna get some. I have a lilac color. If you don't have, you can get it from the store. This is, let me just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see what the palette looks like. There you go. So I put some lilac. I'm not gonna mix it up here because I don't want to change the consistency of the other colors. Put some lilac, clean my brush, and where's my paper to clean my brush? Here. Okay, so I will grab some French ultramarine, which is the, and I will mix it up with this lilac, and I start putting this color on the paper. So where you remember that it was I put some mix from the previous mix, some very fine, uh, just a water, and I will put some here on the buildings. Let's put some more French ultramarine, get some punch to it, and clean my brush. So I want to come into the building, so I would clean my brush very thoroughly, pick up some color from here, and get the CN tower. I don't want to put so much color here because these buildings, maybe I will change to a little bit something, other color on the building. So here, let's take it out. You can, you don't need the white. I use the white. If you don't want the white to be on the paper, that's fine. I just use some white. I like it, and I left it on the paper. I use some Prussian blue. Put some vaguely across the sky. Here, there, create some more, change the color. Now let's mix it up with the other mix, lilac and French ultramarine. I introduced some Prussian blue, so I want to warm it up this sky. So here, there you go. So if I, now this stage, what I will do, clean my brush, put on the side, and then I will go and wipe it out this color from the edge. And I will tilt my paper to get some more texture, like nice, let the wash coming down by itself, and it create a little bit more effect to the sky. Let's clean my brush, smaller brush. I'm using now number 10 mop brush. See, now you can tell that the wash has been traveling down, and so what I did, I just clean it up just quickly. You don't need to do, you don't have to wait for, let the wash work by itself. Don't force the wash too much, otherwise it will start, you know giving you a problem. So here there was something was coming down, so I would just put a little bit Prussian blue again. I'm going to use that. Actually, the number 10, the number 16 was a little bit hard to use on a smaller paper, just to show you. All right, and now what I will do, I'm going to grab some the Viridian green from the palette. I don't use, these are the tubes I mentioned earlier. I don't use, I don't buy green color anymore because I I mix my own green. But since I have these tubes, so I will gonna use it to finish it up. So it would be dry and it will be waste, right? So might as well use it. Okay, some dry brush marks I didn't put anything on the paper, uh, any water or anything, because I need some dry brush marks, right? So here, mix it up with the wash on the top and bring it down. These trees are here, so I will make this edge a little bit softer, but I don't disturb this white, right? Like I need this white later on. I'll show you why I left this white. So here, some white here also. I purposely left it so I can use for something else. Okay, so here, done. And now I'm gonna get some sepia from my palette, mix it up with my green mix, get some darker green color. That's how you mix. If it's too dark, you can tell that it just is too much, right? I never use the color here on the middle, right? Always try find what happening. Just put the color here, and then you see what the color is look like. Then you start putting in the middle of the painting. Otherwise, it'll be a problem for you. I will use some cadmium yellow. This is the cadmium yellow, a little pale hue. And I will start putting this color here. Just in the middle, like because the light is coming from here, the trees are casting shadows, some foliage exposed to the light. So I'm just putting vaguely that dark green color, create uh, some depth into this the trees. And here some more. I can come back. I can do. I can put some more, which is not a problem. And I'm going to use some cadmium orange because it's too much green, green, green. So I will bring some cadmium orange, put it here. Just change the consistency, the boring green color, like just put a little bit here and there. Not too much. You don't need to do too much, otherwise it starts showing. Let's get some yellow ochre mixed with my cadmium yellow, and I will start using this on the midground and the foreground. So there you go. There's a track there, so I will put in the track, and I will leave some white of the track also. I'm not gonna paint exactly what it looks like, so it's kind of a little bit dirty, muddy type of color. So I will bring some French ultramarine, mix with the yellow ochre, and I get that color. There you go. And some dry brush marks also. Again, I need those dry brush marks. Today is a day of the dry brush marks because this painting has this is not a very even surface on the field. So now I'm not gonna paint on these figures. This is the beauty of the watercolor, right? You don't wanna paint anything which you, if I paint it, then I need to use my uh, what do you call my white color to create these recreate these figures again after I by mistake or intentionally, if you put that color on the top of those. So here let's put some dry brush marks again. Get some yellow ochre straight and put some yellow ochre in the foreground. Get some dry brush marks again because I need those. It's uneven surface, so I can use those white marks later on to create that surface look like it's an uneven surface. So that white marks will work really good. So this brush is working very nice. That squirrel brush made by Rosemary and Co. It works really good with this type of painting, with this size of painting. I would say, I don't want to say this type of painting, but this is this size of the painting. It works really good. You don't want to let this hard edge dry. If it is dry, then it can be a challenge for you. So make sure that you don't let this dry, because if it is dry, then it create a little bit problem for you to soften again. Here I use some but sepia color. I by mistake I put some Prussian blue a little bit, and I use some, actually I use some French ultramarine to tone it down, that the color in the foreground. I will put a little bit dark in the foreground to create more contrast into my painting. Get some French ultramarine, and I will put more. Lots of dry brush marks today. Like I said, today is the day of the dry brush marks. Clean my brush, and let's get this wash. Mingle each other, get some nice soft edge, and let's get some out of the way too. You don't need to keep all the dry brush marks. It's up to you. If you like it, you can keep it, no problem. But here, let's put some French ultramarine. Just bring some blue color here in the foreground, and some purple color also, just to create some more variation in the color, right? Let's put some purple. Basically, this side, it it shows that it may be something else here outside the painting, because the light is coming from here, so it casting a shadow. This is a very good chance for you to, especially in the landscape, that you can create more contrast in your painting. Just to show, there must be a tree here and it casting a shadow, so this is how you create more contrast. Okay, they're still wet, so I'm working in the wet into wet. I will put this as purple color in my brush, so might as well use it. And some put it here because it's blocking the light. Some casting shadow. Some here, a little bit here, there. And let's put some more here because I need some more contrast. So edges, you can put more dark value. Uh, bring some more depth to your painting. Let's get some dark green color by mixing Payne's gray. That's how you change the consistency of the paint, because there's the hue of the paint, it goes at certain limit, and then you cannot make it darker. So you can only make it darker by just adding another color or another like a dark color. So that's how you change the consistency of the color, make it more darker. Let's put some vaguely cadmium yellow here also. Okay. All right, I think this is enough. I don't want to go too much, and I'm gonna grab my dryer. I'm gonna dry the painting. Let's dry so I can work on a smaller detail work. I'm just, along with the dryer, I'm using the brush to clean up the dry brush marks. And at the same time, since the painting is start drying, I can create some dry brush marks also with my smaller dragger brush, just to create some trees, branches or something. Although it's very far, it's hard to see. But here, let's put some, since it's drying, and here also. See, I'm lifting the colors and create the branches of this tree instead of putting a white color. So here, some here, there. So I think that's enough for the dryer. I guess the most of the painting is almost dry. Some patches, as you can see here, there, I can still lift the color from here because it's still wet. Even though you can lift the color because there's not a staining color, right? So I can still lift the colors from here, there, but it's okay. It's otherwise it will be too much, right? Now I'm going to grab my smaller dagger brush, which is good for the drawing and sketching, and I will start putting some dark value on these trees and all that. This is the time of the do some sketching work with the with your brush. Although it you don't need to here do this because this is more is a very far these forests or the trees, so you don't need to go and do some work here just to create a little bit, like here and there that you don't need to explain exactly what they look like. Just and let's put some more Payne's gray, make this green color more darker. Let's put some here at the edge of it. The trees, I don't want to take too much time. I don't have time, so we don't want to go too much with the painting here. These huts or change rooms or whatever. Let's get the little bit paler, like a purplish type of color. Clean my brush thoroughly because I don't need. Let's make some purple color, right? Like with the cadmium red, and I'll put some here because this is less exposed to the light, so they have casting shadow. And the other side, this side is exposed to the light, so they are uh, there's a light here on the side of the wall. So and here get some dark color. I don't know what it is, but I left some white so I can create some structure also here. You don't need to explain too much what's going on here. That's a little bit is fine. More out of focus is better because it looks like it gives you atmospheric perspective that how far these things is. It you explain that these are kind of a little bit far, so you don't need to create more uh, fine work here. That's a little bit brush work. Put some very loose type of marks. You don't need to do too much work here. So a little bit is fine here. Actually, you know what? I'll just use my side of the brush and create some, get some more Payne's gray, create a little bit more dark color, dark green color here. And let's make a little bit the passage here. Let's get a, since I have the color in my palette, I mean in my brush. Here, let's get some cadmium yellow with a different swatch, and put some trees here with a dry brush mark because it's already dry. It's not wet anymore, so I will just put some dry brush marks here. And get some purple color with this structure, something there. I would put a little bit purple color so it shows that it has uneven surface and one side is exposed to the light and the other one is not. The track. Okay, now come to this side. I will rather use instead of using a Payne's gray and my green mix, I would jump on the sepia color, get some sepia color, and I would use some French ultramarine to make a nice gray color, so I can use these the trees, create some more depth, more contrast to those trees. If it is too much, you think just put some water, tone it down, put some French ultramarine, get some nice bluish type of gray color, and then you can use that also to if you think it's too harsh, and which it was a little bit harsher, so I tone it down. Now let's put on these branches. I don't want to work too much here. Basically, I'm not gonna go and I put some cadmium orange because it's a foreground. There's a little bit stuff here, so I would just use some cadmium orange. Clean my brush and make a dry brush mark again. Dark value, another layer of the dark with the dry brush marks here, and some Payne's gray. Mix it up with the cadmium orange. Put some dark value here. Not too much. I'm spending too much time here, but it's okay. I'm gonna go quick to the other side of the painting here. So this is done. Let's put some cadmium orange and put a little bit cadmium orange on this tree. A little bit, not too much. You don't want to do too much, otherwise it will show. Just a little bit, just show these branches are there. And if they are disappearing, just lift the colors up again with the little bit harder brush, and then it will be showing again. Or better yet, just go get the white color and just put it in. That's it. Okay, so almost done, and now I will go and create these buildings on the background start, because since I am done, I'm going to come back to the figures at the end. I will put some, let's zoom in. Actually, it's too far. Oops. I don't know why it's so overexposed. Okay, oops, sorry. Actually, now it's better. Okay, here. They change the format. Let's change it. Soon as you touch the camera, and it does all kind of stuff. Here, you go. So go here so you guys can see better, right? Although I want to show the palette also, but since I'm working on the small stuff, so I would just go put this these buildings, get some Payne's gray or sepia color. Just put in the middle of these buildings so it create more depth that they are far, but not too dark actually. If you put too dark of a color, then it will show right away on your painting. So these paintings are basically far, so you want to go just a little bit, I picked up some Prussian blue, and I put my dagger brush here and just drag it up to here, and it will create a little bit like a windows and all that that type of stuff. And I use some gray color, put the edge of this building a little bit here. If you want, you can go create some more like lines and explain the building more, but I don't have time and I don't like that type of work, so I'm okay with that. You can do that also, which is fine. Now I will pick up some cadmium yellow. Some buildings are not white or blue, or so there is some variation in the buildings also downtown. And here let's put some sepia color, put on the top of the building. Let's put a crane here, construction go on, so create more you know activity to your painting. So I guess it's too dark. I'm gonna put some what do you call that for white color, so I will tone it down later. Okay, so this building is white, and then I will put this building a little bit darker. get some French ultramarine and put some buildings here. Dry brush marks works really good on these buildings to create the windows and the other stuff. Let's get some green color also, because since I don't want to use the green color because the trees are so green. Otherwise, then they will mingle with the tree. So you have to be careful. When you do certain type of work, you don't want to mix your one object to the other just by using different type of colors. Here, done. Let's put some antenna here, show some energy. Again, a little bit dark value, so create more contrast to your painting, some more depth. Here, I think I will put some here also. A little bit here because they're assuming the light is coming from here, right? I'm not going to touch the CN Tower. I will do it later. And some buildings here, they are not too far, so I will put this. Get some dark color by mixing French ultramarine and a sepia color for the side of the building, so this building will show some perspective and blocking the light one side. And then again put some lines so it create a nice building type of shape here. I will put some dark value here so it helps this building to create. I will put another building here, just too close, not too close, just a little bit is fine. Okay, so I am good so far. Let's get some nice like a green color, mix it up with the Prussian blue with the Viridian green. It gives you a nice variation in the color. Put some buildings here because all the buildings are not, like I said, green or white or. So let's grab some cadmium yellow, mix with the cadmium orange, so I can get a different color buildings here too. Here. And the CN Tower is, let's put some yellow ochre. And now let's put the CN Tower because the CN Tower is more like a gray, I mean like a art type of texture on this. I'm not sure if you guys see it in real time. I've been there so many times. Here, put some dark value because we are more focused on this structure. Okay, this is iconic Toronto building, so we need to reg this more instead of anything else. Let's put some, you know what, I'll keep this building very light because it's very light. So a little bit, and then I will put some lines here, right? Again, Payne's gray, put in a French ultramarine mix. I got a nice light gray color. What I will do, I will cast a light from this building to this building. Oops. Okay, here, let's get some French ultramarine and I will cast some shadow, although I did already, but let's define more. Casting shadow here, I did already, but let's do some more here. I did actually, you can see the white of the building. You probably, you're thinking that I'm painting very loose, but I'm paying attention also. So this, you see that arch here, is this building is casting shadow on this building. That's how it shows the light is coming from here. So I'm painting it, but I am keeping my eyes on those stuff so I know what's going on in my painting. Now this it'll be casting a shadow like that. It looks really good actually when you do these things, and it works like a champ. Like it just creates such a nice look to your painting. One Somebody understand what how the light is working on your painting, he will be appreciate your work, that you understand what you did here. Let's put some more jewelry work. Let's put some more here, the windows, and you can do this also, the stipples. You can put like here like that instead of putting the lines. This works good too for me, so I'm not sure about you. You can do that also. Let's get some burnt umber. I've been using the sepia color, so let's get the sepia color a little bit off from the work. Let him rest. Antennas, dark value, create more depth value. Now put some windows on the building, like a little bit jewelry work. Lines, dark value where they are disappearing, right, behind the trees. Some light. So this building, I kept it very open because there's no building against it, right? So it does not expose, not casting shadow with any other building. So antennas, I think that would be it. Let me just turn off this image out of the uh, painting so you guys can see better what I'm doing. Okay, okay, so most of the building, I mean the painting is come along very good. I'm happy. Let's put some yellow, a little bit yellow, cadmium yellow, create some more variation in that building. I don't want to go too much, otherwise it will start showing, because the yellow, cadmium yellow is very bright color. You have to be a little bit careful. And let's make some, I have some Prussian blue and mix, so I will just use this quickly. We don't have time, actually time is running out, and these stuff I'll create some dark. And this fence is a little bit walk away here through this park, and it goes up to here. Clean my brush thoroughly and cast the shadow of these fans. So although it's too much work, but just to create more. And this the baseball marble fence. Let's get some lilac. Lilac works beautiful because it's gray, so lilac works beautiful. That type of work. And the cage and the casting shadow of the cage also. Not too much, otherwise it'll go in the figures, which is not going to be very good. And I will put some little bit light color here. All right, and now I have some green color. Let's put some viridian in it. Let's put some cadmium yellow, and I will put these in these trees. Let's get this trees energized more. The foliage, create some more foliage, and that's it. I don't want to go too much, which is otherwise it'll be too much. And a little bit here with these trees, create, and then put the lamppost. Although I think this is enough. That's it. Now we're going to do the figures. Let's get some cadmium red. I'm going to give the gentleman a nice striped t-shirt. It's a summer, so might as well use this and I will give him French ultramarine and mix it up with I mix some gray color, purple color, I don't know why. let's give him some like a blue type of pants, and they're sitting basically, right? So the and I will put some. Let's give him a yellow ochre color here. Put some yellow ochre, okay, and Prussian blue, right? Prussian blue and solid color clothing as this woman figure. So I would put some Prussian blue, and again I mix. Let's get some French ultramarine. Put some dark value underneath since it's wet. So I will cast some shadow. Put some dark value here in between, and that's it. And not too much, otherwise it will show. Let's get the, you know what, let's zoom in so you guys can see what I'm actually am doing. Let's put this here. There you go. And let's get some cadmium yellow ochre. Okay, and oh, I blocked my palette actually. And then put some sepia color, create some more depth, and get the light. I'm assuming the light is coming from here. Now I will go get some of the cadmium red, mix a little bit purple color, and create some shadow here, half of the body, right? Like it works really, really good. So if you need to create more depth, you just put a little bit purple color mixed with cadmium red and French ultramarine. Anything works, right? And this, because it's a blue color, this is a the stripe. It basically, the shirt is white and there's a red stripe. So when you put the little bit gray color on the half of it, which is light blocking, it works beautiful. It works really good. And the dark color, I would put a little bit dark color on this side, like a little bit more grayish color, mix it up with French ultramarine, and so it's still wet into wet. I'm working into wet. So, and let's put some dark value since I have the uh, in my brush dark color, so I will give some more depth to this and these little bit smaller stuff. Now let's do this. Actually, this two figures also, they're sitting here. They are sitting, and cadmium orange on their face. Make a cadmium orange, and here maybe a little bit darker cadmium orange. And let's grab some Prussian blue, right? Prussian blue, and let's do the clothing here. Get some dark the French ultramarine. Put some on the back, so it create more depth. Okay, and again gray color, I mean the purple color, which I mixed already. The casting shadow here, some casting shadow a little bit here, there. That's it. Not too much. You don't need to explain too much, because this painting is, yes, it is about these people in the front, but we are working on the cityscape, and so everything is working, especially the downtown. It's the most important part is the downtown, and then everything else is just following it, right? And so if you energize your painting, you might as well, you can do. It's not a problem, and I have no problem with that. But you be careful. You don't want to do too much, otherwise what happen, it will start showing that some work is been overworked, something. Actually, I put too much French ultramarine. Let me pick it up, because it shows right away, because it's just too much. Let's clean it up a little bit Here, I think this is it. That's it. I don't want to do too much. Let's put some red color. They have something here. Who knows? Let's get some sepia, block it up, create some depth. Clean my brush with my fingers. I have a bad habit. I clean my brush with my, as you can see, I did this all the time because sometimes you don't have time, right? And you don't want, you're so excited, you want to finish your painting, it looks good, make it look good, so you just keep going. Let's make these people hand. Okay, so I guess this is I'm here at this stage. I'm gonna go look, see what's the problem. Anything else need to be uh, uh, delete or tone it down. Let's say this crane is too much, so what I will do, I'm gonna grab my poster color and I will grab some poster color. If you think something is too much and is not age just too much in your painting, just put a little bit. Don't delete everything, but just put a little bit so it create it delete and then it works too, right? Like it here. See these figures? I will put some white color in these figures. The person walking with a dog. Some figures here. Let's put some figure here also. Create some more busy painting. And then the lamppost here, remember, you don't want to do too much, otherwise it'll show. So that's fine. I don't want to put these lampposts. Sometimes it looks okay, but most of the time that white color, it doesn't look too good. Let's do some on the CN tower. Let's put some white color because I put the antenna to white, and let's create some. This building I put a dark color, so I will take it off. If you want, if you can handle it, you can do a small window like this, like that, in the building. Create more energy to your painting. I have a little bit time, so I can go work a little bit here there. And that's it. See the trees, remember that I was trying to lift the colors, but if you have white color, you can do the trees like this. Okay, so I will zoom out a little bit because a little bit zoom out. Okay. So you can tell that crane is still kind of annoying and is not going away. So I will get some more white color. Just put more white color. Try to clean this up because as soon as I put a white color, it what happened? It just go and it become a little bit gray color. So it's so addiction, like when you start with the white color and then you want to do more and more and more because it works. It create more drama, more depth into your painting, but you don't want to get involved with too much because we want to finish this painting. We don't want to sit here for a whole day, right? So here, okay, and some casting shadows of these people and figures, and let me give some little bit these figures. Let's get some sepia. Get a little bit, not too much, otherwise if you do too much it will start showing. I clean my brush again with my fingers. Boom, here. So let's do some figures. You don't need to put colors or whatever, just put whatever color you have in your palette because sometimes you don't see the exact color what is there. Just explain vaguely that what color they are. Just put a gray color. If you want to explain more, you can put a little bit more color. It's up to you. And now let's get this gray. Remember the white I told you? I will just create something with this white. So this is the time. Let's create some depth and show that this is the uneven surface. Maybe put a dry brush mark here. And I have the gray color, right? I have a little bit time also, so I can go put some dark value. Again, just put a little bit grayish color. Again, this dark color, and it will start showing that the surface is uneven like this, right? Something is sitting there by the baseball marble here. Let's create some depth here, here, there, here. Wherever you see, you don't need to do too much. You can leave some white stuff. You don't need to create the depth, right? And a little bit sepia color, and I will put a little bit here under the CN tower since it's more. We need to see more. And yeah, that's it. Red color. Let's get some red color and put in the ring the on the on the CN tower. Just brings some more punch to our painting. And again, how much time I have? Okay, time is almost over, but we can spare some time here, and I will put some birds here because we have the lake here. So, which of course we want to put some seagulls. Any color will work. A dark green color or any dark color will work. So here, let's put some here, a little bit, and one here. That's it. I always say the grouping is very important. So don't do over, right? If you do over, then it will show right away that there's so many birds are hanging out, right? So you don't need to do that. Otherwise, your painting doesn't look very good. So here, I got some beautiful mix of red and purple. I will sign it here. Da, da, da. Let's zoom out a little bit here. There you go. I signed it. My painting is done. I would sign it more, but that's fine. So this is the painting. Quick, easy, a little bit drawing involved, figures. You don't need to explain too much, like what's in there, like just explain what's going on. What is this painting is all about? This is the Riverdale Park, Toronto, on Broadway Street, Broadway and Danforth. I no Gerard and Broadway. So if you have time, you want to visit such a beautiful park, especially in a winter time. That slope, you can see that slope down there. It when the snow fall, and then the kids enjoy so much. You go there, you see so many people are enjoying this park. So this is a very iconic park of the Toronto, and I planned it a few weeks ago that I'm going to do this painting for class also. Now, any question, any concern about this painting, the colors I use, how I draw, how I mix my blues, my greens, please put in the chat below and send me a message. If you want to show me a work, just send it. And I hope I will end this video here. I hope you like the video and you enjoy the painting, the process, what is watercolor, what is dry brush marks, how to keep the transparency in the watercolor, how to keep the light, the white of the paper, which is the first layer of the paper, and how to grouping certain things on your painting. You don't want to do too much. I can put like 10 figures here, but then it will look too crowded. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and please give me a thumbs up and subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon button, so because I upload videos almost every week, and so you can be notified. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next week. I'm going to start the streaming